Hi, this is Jim Romer, the week of January 21st. Welcome. What an amazing ride in commodities over the last few months, from silver to the crude oil market breaking out, particularly the grain markets, which were reacting to droughts with La Nina, strong Chinese demand, other commodities breaking out as well. But we began to tell clients about a week or two ago about these droughts breaking for South America grains and also parts of the Midwest. So a major profit taking, which our Weather Wealth newsletter, our twice a week newsletter, caught for clients. It was up about 60% in 2020. We have all sorts of strategies on there for you if you want a 2-week free trial period. The less expensive newsletter, Climate Intelligence, used by farmers, traders, ETF investors all over the world, only $13 a month. You could get that monthly newsletter at bestweatherinc.com, my website, 2 newsletters to help you learn about commodity trading. So first of all this green you see here in South America, the third biggest exporter of grains in the world, created a massive sell-off as there was just a huge long position in grains over the last few months. What will happen this spring, however, because it still could affect the grain market substantially if we see this drought, the red area you see over the plains in California moves east into the Corn Belt next spring and summer. You want to make sure you subscribe to one of my services, because we could have explosive moves in these grain markets if this drought expands into the heart of our Midwest breadbasket. However, in the short term, traders took advantage of some of these markets and grains last week, selling them in my newsletter. Look at the feet of snow this week, the blue area, the huge trough out west over Arizona and Utah and New Mexico. This is more typical, actually, of an El Nino phenomenon. You usually don't see feet of snow in January. That will be happening again, not only early this week, but in about a week and a half or so for many ski resorts, Tahoe's, Telluride, much of the Southwest. This typically happens during a El Nino situation. So my point here is that the odds of this extreme bullish moves in grains continuing, with the rains I just showed you in Argentina pressuring soybeans and corn last week, and now all this moisture coming in from the snow into the Rockies and plains, is not as likely. So we may be going into a bear market. Again, subscribe to one of my services, and we'll help you micromanage your portfolio and give you some really interesting weather information on top of some trading tips. Natural gas, we may begin to see a change in the weather pattern. Look at that red ridge to the left of your screen there over my right shoulder. If that ridge builds north, like some of my long-range predictions suggest from February and March, and we begin to see more snow cover that could cool off the ground, the surface, and make the temperatures colder, we could begin to see natural gas prices bottom here. Will we go higher? Once again, my monthly newsletter will give some kind of long-term suggestions, Climate Intelligence, and my day-to-day, twice weekly service will give you much more indications of my week-to-week feelings in these markets. We have some really interesting option strategies, not only in natural gas, but also in coffee. Look at this. The coffee crop over my shoulder there, lowest in about 10 to 11 years in Brazil. But why hasn't coffee prices taken off? A, there's some rain in the forecast for Brazil again in about 10 to 15 days. And B, because of the Brazil real and COVID-19, less demand around the world. But once we get over this COVID, we see any spring weather problems again in South America or Vietnam, coffee prices could explode sometime before by the spring or summer. So a lot of option strategies we recommend. And we advise you once again to go to my website, bestweatherinc.com. Have a nice week.